All right, let's dive into something pretty incredible today. We're going to talk about a simple but powerful idea: how your imagination, what you believe, can literally shape the world around you. So, let's get right into it. Okay, so check this out. You are what you imagine. I mean, that's a pretty heavy line, right? It sounds like something you'd hear from some ancient philosopher. But what if I told you the source of this quote is going to completely surprise you? Believe it or not, it comes from a fairy tale show. Yep, at a theme park in Vietnam, kind of like their version of Disneyland. The person behind our source material was just sitting there watching the show, the drill, prince, fairy, the bad guys, and then bam, that one line just heads them. It's kind of wild, right? It just goes to show you that a big idea can pop up anywhere. All right, so let's take that idea, that fairy tale line, and see how it actually plays out in the real world. We're going from fairy tale castles to, well, Fortune 500 companies. So this really gets to the heart of it. Think about it for a second. Everything we use every day, your phone, the internet, even the lights in your room, all of it was once completely unthinkable. Just a crazy, unfathomable idea in someone's head. So the big question is, how does that happen? How do we get from a wild idea to something real? I mean, just look at the absolute giants of our time, right? Microsoft, Apple, Google. These aren't some old money dynasties that were just handed down. No way. These were built literally from the ground up by their founders. And every single one of them started the exact same way, as just a tiny spark. It was one person with the sheer audacity to hope. And honestly, what probably looked like delusion to everyone else. The delusion to believe they could build something the world had never seen. That's it. That's the bedrock. Okay, so if that belief is the bedrock, what actually fuels it? What powers it? Well, it breaks down into two key mechanics, two ways that this hope gets powered. So you've got two different forms of belief. On one hand, you have the external multiplier, that's when other people believe in you, and on the other hand, you have internal fuel. That's what you run on when you're the only one who believes. Now, they can definitely work together, but one of them is absolutely non-negotiable. Let's talk about that external multiplier first. This is like the best case scenario, right? It's when you have people in your corner, friends, family, mentors, who genuinely believe in what you're doing. Their belief acts like a force multiplier. It takes your own drive and just cranks it up to 11. It's a huge boost. But what happens when that support system just isn't there? What happens when nobody gets it? Well, that's when internal fuel isn't just nice to have, it's the only thing you've got. It's that gritty, non-negotiable self-belief that you have to tap into. When all you hear is silence or even doubt, you have to find a way to use that as fuel. It's that deep down, I'm going to prove every single one of you wrong kind of energy. Okay, so we get what belief is now. But how do you actually build it? Especially that internal kind. Because it's not just about, thinking happy thoughts. It's a cycle, an active process. And here is the absolute key to the whole thing. You cannot think your way into being confident. It just doesn't work. You have to act your way there. See, confidence isn't something you just magically have. It's what you get after you get good at something. And the only way to get good is by doing. So here's what that cycle looks like. Step 1, it all starts inside with your own internal belief, a vision that only you can see. Step 2, you have to act on it. You have to actually do the thing. Step 3 is materialization. That's just a fancy way of saying your actions start to create real results, something tangible. And only then, only after all that, do you get to step 4, external belief. That's when the rest of the world finally sees your results and starts to catch up to your vision. And this is so important to understand. Nobody can see what's in your heart. They can't see your vision or your passion. It's invisible to them. The only thing they can see is what you actually make happen in the real world. Your actions. That's the bridge. That's how you get the idea out of your head and into their reality. All right, so let's bring this all home. What's the bottom line here? What does all of this mean for you right now? Look, anytime you start something new, there's always that fear, right? What if people don't get it? What if they don't believe in me? So let's just ask, what is the absolute worst that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that people don't believe in you. But that's not the end of the sentence. The worst that can happen is a temporary state. Their disbelief is just for now. It's not a permanent fact. It's a situation that you,
through your actions, have the power to change.
Which brings us right back to the simplest, most powerful advice there is. Believe in yourself, and then just do it. The order there is everything. First comes the belief, that internal fuel. You gotta have that first. And then you act. So let's end where we started. That fairy tale show was onto something big. You really are what you imagine. All the big ideas, the future empires, the world-changing stuff, it's all just an idea in someone's head right now. So the only question left is, what will you imagine into reality?